everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. We are looking at a Homelite C-72. This is one I bought from Hal. I think, yeah, this is the first Homelite that he bought that kind of got him into the craze. So, if you guys remember, it hadn't been that long ago, I added a pretty nice late model C-72 to my collection. So what in the world am I doing with the second one? Gotta have a good reason, right? Well, here is that good reason. I needed something to put this neat little attachment on. So this is an add-on automatic oiler that was offered. Homelite, I'm not sure honestly when they introduced it. I would have to assume it was in the late 60s. I think the first time I saw it noted was in a C-51 IPL, but don't hold me to that. But in any case, they actually had a revision to the drive case in order to make this thing work. It's kind of hard to explain, but this is the passage for the oil outlet right here. The actual pump itself is running down through here, and it's gear driven off of the clutch drum. Pumps oil up, and there's a tube on the back side of this cover that goes into that hole in that revised drive case, and that pumps it into the factory oil passage and up to the bar. So that revised drive case is absolutely necessary if you're going to use this. Some saws would have come standard. I know revision 1 of this IPL for the C-72 shows that proper part number. The XP1000 shows it. What other saws were produced at that point, I don't know, but I know at some point, I believe by revision 2, the old part was back in use on this that didn't have that third hole drilled. Now by then I suspect there were enough factory automatic oilers that it didn't make sense for a guy to spend whatever this kit cost. You could probably buy a saw for about that. But anyway, it's a neat little option. It's similar in principle to the gear drive that was available for these. The C was a convertible saw. So with that gear drive, it would have been the same thing. A planetary gear set was going to go in place of the standard drive cover. Now this is an interesting piece of technology. It's a simple oil pump, but if you look up in there, you'll see that the clutch drum is special to this saw, and it's what's driving that automatic oiler. Which means when you're at idle and the chain's not spinning, it's not pumping oil. If that sounds similar to a lot of technology that's in use today, it's because it is. I mean, a lot of Steels and Husqvarnas are using that now. But in 1971, when this saw was produced, you could get that technology. That was a long damn time ago. So I won't go as far as to say as Homelite pioneered that concept, but they were certainly one of the earliest that, you know, you could use it on your saw. So anyway, say Hal wanted to sell his C-72, and when I needed the saw for that cover, it seemed like a real nice fit. You can hear it runs good. He cut some firewood with it off and on. It was always good for him. You're a goofball, kidlet. Yeah. Say hi to YouTube, Lily.
Hi, hi.
Hey, whoa! Don't run into the bar, kid.
Hi, YouTube.
Okay, there you go. I have to teach this kid some chainsaw safety. So anyway, here we go. 71 C-72. That's a mouthful. With an optional factory automatic oiler add-on kit. The only other special thing on this saw isn't really related to the saw, other than the bar that it's wearing. Trying to find, I think a lot of you guys know this, a sprocket nose 404 63 gauge bar in Homelite mount is super difficult. So I went out on a limb and tried to piece something together, and it actually worked. This is an 031 Oregon mount that's meant for a steel. It's got the factory 404 tip on it, so no dinking around there. And I bought the adapter that you can take this, I believe this is a 14 millimeter slot down to the 9 millimeter Husqvarna. Well, 3/8 converts to about 9.5 millimeters, so I had to file that adapter out just a little bit and then lay a Homelite bar on it, of course, and mark the oil passage and the adjuster holes. But it worked. I mean, it was probably about an hour of drilling and filing and all that sort of jazz. But for anybody who's looking to do that to their saw, if you can find one of these and you want to go to the expense, I mean, the adapter was $20, the bar was, I don't know, probably 50, and I had a chain that I could shorten up and put on here, thankfully. But you're probably looking at about $100 worth of screwing around to get this done. But in this case, I really needed that because these kits were only offered in 404, 7/16 or ½ inch. And I have the 404 one, which is in a way really good, because where in the heck are you going to find a sprocket nose 7/16 or ½ inch? Maybe a roller, but again, they're hard to come by. So anyhow, there we go, folks. This is another really nice saw I'm happy to add to the collection.